Hi, this is Danny Doyle, and I'm joined by Casual Jacob.
Hello.
And it's been a couple of weeks since we last recorded. At the end of the previous video, I showed off to chat the results of my degenerate arena grinding. But
26 hours, 50 minutes.
I want to show Jacob. Well, so some amount of that is from the speed up button. Anytime you're using speed up, it's going to add a lot of time because, like, you don't immediately let go as soon as you should. But
because I know that happens.
Before we get to it, I would like you to make a prediction of how much gold I have. Just give me a number.
My God. Oh, we had very little gold last map, right? Like at the start, we spent most of it on like yoinks and stuff.
We had about 10,000 because
10,000.
that was the amount that I needed for secret
the skill
books. Yeah, and I will say this much about the to give you a hint. I did not use any save states for arena grinding. However,
It was all save point.
However, because I like plowed through, I had to redo things, and I plowed through. I forgot to use save points on the second attempt, and I realized I had all 3 save points available when it was time to arena. So that is the scenario we're in. What do you think the final gold count ended up being?
I want to say doubling it, but that sounds too low with how much prelude there's been to this.
Remember, I have 3 checkpoints. We started with a little bit over 10k, and I purchased a physics staff.
We'll say 35,000, just over triple.
35,000. Okay. As a secondary side funny guess, there were 2 units that received quite a few levels in the arena, because as it turns out, they were actually like really well suited to fighting in the arena in Zero Growths.
Yeah.
Which 2 units do you think it is?
I would think Flynn, because like you get a lucky crit in the arena and you win. Who would the other person that'd be really good in the arena be?
Well, remember the arena weapons have like innate 50 crit or something ridiculous.
Yeah, they have like bonkers high crit already. I don't remember if we had any other like. God, who else would we have used in it? I almost wonder if like Svelte Zalis, because Insight would let him actually be able to hit stuff, and the high speed would let him like not get hit by the low accuracy weapons. So I'm gonna say Flynn and Svelte.
All right. So to answer your first question, so you might think, oh, you only had 50k gold. That's not that much.
We bought some stuff. Oh my god.
No, it's not there. Where is it? Right. I bought some physics.
Okay, physics stats are good.
And I bought some effectives, I think, as well.
Did you buy more hammers?
I did not buy more hammers. I think I bought
Reavers.
I bought some more effectives. Oh yeah, some
I
autos
do see
and
some
stuff.
autos.
Yeah, and Lance Reavers.
Lance Reavers are pretty good.
Now, you said you think that it is Flynn and Svelte Valis, right?
Yes.
Well, I'll start by telling you you're correct about Flynn.
Okay.
What level do you think he is?
Oh, it's right there.
Whoops, sorry. He's 14.
I was gonna say like 10 or something at the very most.
I did not quite get him to double lion, but I got him pretty fucking far.
I have a feeling he'll be fine.
Yeah, this is before the Paragon Ring, by the way.
Yes.
So that's pretty fucking awesome. Anyone who was worried that Push Res was going to ruin our experience gain doesn't know how degenerate I am. However, I have bad news about Spelvalis.
Oh.
That guess was not correct. No, I invested the rest of the experience in a very good target. Someone we're killing off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so as it turns out, because the enemies, like, stats scaled based on your level, not your stats, Rachel being incredibly underleveled was actually a huge boon. Because
Interesting.
she could actually one-shot a lot of the enemies, whereas other people really couldn't.
Oh.
Carbon's at 15. I think I got him some arena kills as well. But yeah, this is
The squad.
the squad right now. This is not who's getting deployed. I have a different, already did prep save, but
Cool.
I just wanted to pull this one up and show you. And
Just a little bit of money and a little bit of stuff.
just a teensy bit. Right here we have some base conversations, and this one gets us an axe buster. That's pretty cool. This one informs us. So this is actually
Hey,
really
Jake.
cool QOL. So this is Jake, Anna's boyfriend, and he gives us hints for where the secret shops are. On all the maps, secret shops appear. And this one, he tells us basically it's in a waterfall.
I really like this idea of... Because you can... So the way I've always found secret shops is... If I know one's on a map, like the pattern recognition can kick in and go, oh, this looks out of place. This is probably the secret shop. But it's always really awkward in the main series when you get the member card, but you have to go like 2 maps without a secret shop. So you're going, well, did I miss it somewhere? Was there like... You know, has there just not been any? So having someone who just at least says, hey, there's one on the map somewhere, and it can kind of help you like keep an eye out for what you're looking for.
Yeah. I like the riddles as well, because if you, like, pay attention, they do give away the location. But it's not, like, explicitly saying, like, it's here. Like, I know in Vision Quest, the first secret shop, there's just literally an X on the map. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really a secret. The other ones aren't marked, but they are more, like, vanilla, where it's like, oh, if you know they're here, you can sort of look for them.
Yeah.
And this just sort of like cuts the middle between them, which I think is kind of cool. And it references Jake, which is epic.
Yeah, I miss Jake. He's awesome.
Yeah, too bad Jake got turned into Jacob in Fire Emblem Fates Revelation, only for Game Boy Advance.
That's why we haven't seen him since.
Because of all the extra money I have, we now actually have enough money to afford using Agnes, who's kind of been riding the bench ever since the casual mode map. Which I guess that's only for one map, but she wasn't planned to be like a major part of the run, because I kind of didn't think I'd be able to arena grind as extreme as I did. Like, I feel like I definitely got lucky. I mean, I got lucky that there were even save points available. Is the big thing. Not that I necessarily got lucky in the arena. Like, I did, but the bigger
Getting
luck
through the
was
whole
that...
map without...
Because I did have to
Yeah.
reset a couple of times. I lost, like, 1,000 gold worth of progress one time, and that was really hurtful. Because I was like, okay, I can hold on. It's every gambler gives up just before they hit jackpot moments.
99% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big.
That's also why I was using Rachel in the arena, because I was like, this map, the strategy I have does want a Rachel to help deal with this Ballista.
Uh-huh.
But if she dies, I can adjust things. It's not the end of the world.
Replaceable.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good to go. I think we're golden.
I think so. You haven't checked some of the base combos yet. Are you sure you want to go on?
I'm pretty sure that's just the Blair support. Dude man support. Carbon.
This is a good track, by the way.
The Carboner. I think
Oh,
it's just
this
the
guy, yeah.
Carboner. I might be
Alright,
wrong.
I always forget. I think it is. I always forget Blair can support Carbon.
So, I know we have Flynn, Lance Reaver, no, Armor Slayer here. That is 22. I believe, not the Iron Bow. 14, 22,
Shining
44. That is a kill, right? 44 plus 14, yes. So yeah, we have the Carboner. Do some Carboning. Because I planned out this first turn and, like, vaguely the second one as well.
But that was a little bit ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago, yeah. And I guess technically I could, like, rig a crit with Flynn, but...
But then we don't get Flinny XP, right?
Wait, what?
Or, I'm thinking backwards. I was thinking of something else. Ignore me, please. I was thinking of, like, using Flint to set up the kill for Carbon.
The Carboner.
It always throws me seeing her take 27 damage because she has no offensive bulk.
No offensive bulk, but plenty of defensive bulk, which is very funny. This is 14. This would knock down to 29. And that's 32.
Yeah. Good unit alert.
32 versus... Yeah, so it has to be the Steel Lance. So, but this was the, like, Rachel and Svelte teaming up on the leftmost Ballista, because... So this map, I guess we haven't really, like, talked about this map. This is the finale of the first act. And as such is, like, suitably epic. There's multiple treasure rooms, all of which are on, like, timers, right?
Yes. I know the right ones are. I don't know if the left one is, but I know all the right chests are on timers.
What left ones? Oh, there is a
That
chest here. I forgot. It's not a treasure room so much as a treasure chest.
Yeah.
There's also some people with valuable items they're running away with. The Lady Mace, which can be
Lady
used
Mace is
by...
very funny.
It's not just women with axes. It's all women.
Any female unit can use it, and it's like a hammer.
And then up here is someone running away with the Mercury Boots, which is another growth booster. It's just money for us. And I do still want it, because, you know, money.
Yeah.
This is the escape point for both those thieves, so they do run past us and make it, like, semi-easier for us to catch. In addition to that, there's a dragon to kill, a Dorgan. He rocks a Dorgan shield.
Draco shield.
And then there's something special behind this door as well. And these treasure rooms both have thieves show up. Actually, would you mind pulling up Builder? I believe it's turn 14 for the top one. I forget about the middle one. But the main thing is, everything time sensitive is on the right-hand side of the map. And as a result of that, I'm going to be mostly ignoring the left until we have done all of the time-sensitive objectives. The Dorgan is not time-sensitive. Even, like, the Ballista feels time-sensitive because it's, you know, it's pelting us until then. So...
Yeah. What do I usually do for that Ballista? Because the Ballista has a stealable mini-gem on it. I feel like I just grab, like, some kind of long-range... You have a bolting by this point, I'm pretty sure. Because you get the one in the desert. I think I usually just spend bolting uses killing that Ballista and just not getting the gem.
Yeah, I think we longbow this guy. So I have never failed to steal that gem. Sorry, I'm just checking. I have a screenshot of the end of the first turn of the clear.
Trying to piece together what each action meant.
Well, I know what happens here. You're gonna say they were a waste of money, but Bechamel Gaming...
hammer! Look at that 100 hit with his skill stat.
Yeah, you probably feel really silly right now, don't you?
I don't know. I see Bechamel getting used. I feel really happy.
But you probably feel silly. You made fun of me for Hammer Gaming.
I did. Let's see. Oh, so the first thief shows up from the escape point to get the bottom chest. He shows up on turn 8.
Yes.
The second thief that shows up in the middle chest room with the two, like, boxed-in chests. He shows up on turn 9. And the top rightmost guy shows up on turn 12.
Oh, 12. I thought it was 14 for some reason. I knew it was a double digit.
It's funny, that feels like a really long time, but with how this map goes, oh, nice critical. Less weapon rank, but...
Do we care about his weapon rank? Isn't he, like, close to S anyway?
Oh, is he?
Is it B?
Is it? Yeah, that's
He could be
fine.
closer. He could definitely be closer. Okay, we're gonna have you. Evil Eye here. Squint. Wow, 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 wow. Squint. Wow, 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 wow. So that takes care of the 2 ballistas that are most immediately threatening. But this one is still, like, a bit of a problem. Gaylord is going to... probably heal is enough. Let's mend him just in case.
Yeah.
Heal up Bechamel, because Bechamel's actually in range. And then I'm thinking we heal Flynn.
Okay.
I've set Blair, like, very far back, just because she doesn't really offer us that much.
Yeah, just Blair Inspiration, Charisma.
Yeah, I'd say doesn't really offer that much. I meant just in this initial push. Although,
Yeah,
fun fact, with Blair Inspiration, base level Bechamel can one-round the ballistas with an Iron Axe, which is pretty cool. It does mean that Blair has to be, like, either here or here, and he can go for that, and he's obviously not the only one who can one-round them, but...
Yeah.
It is kind of a neat 0% tech that I was hoping to show off before... Dang, okay. I should have swapped their spots.
You can pivot!
Yeah, we can pivot, but... I guess we have Mikey reposition so that we can actually heal Agnes.
World first, using pivot.
Oh, I use pivot pretty frequently when it's available on armors especially. I used pivot a lot in 0% Growth's Vision Quest because it was on a bulky unit who wants to frontline. I think pivot's cool. I used pivot in... There was a... What hack was I playing? There was a hack where there was a thief that had pivot and Canto, so he could pivot past allies in order to, like, get an extra space of movement.
Interesting. Yeah.
And basically what happened was he would, like, pivot Canto on any turn where he didn't need to, like, take a specific action. He could just pivot Canto.
Just to maneuver around.
Which is kind of cool. Speaking of kind of cool, we got 2 new units. Would you rather talk about the Flyer, who's probably going to be one of our hard carries for the rest of the run? Or the Sniper, who's probably one of the worst units in the game?
Ooh, you made so many people really upset with that.
I will not apologize for speaking the truth.
Ooh, we should start with the Flyer then.
Yeah. This duo of people, it's kind of funny because, like, in many ways, TMGC is the antithesis of the Game Boy Advance brain rot mindset. Wherein a lot of the, like, you know, Archer bad, Flyer good thing wouldn't normally apply. But here, well, Athena's kind of mediocre, like, it's only just in 0% growths because our other Flyers are not going to be as good. That Athena's, like, Flyer good moment, but Athena joins as our first Wyvern, our second Flyer, and although kind of tied in availability with our third Flyer as far as the main campaign is concerned, because, like, she's around here, and then by the time we're gonna have an army swap, and by the time we get our army back, we will have had another Flyer who, yes, she technically had 3 chapters to Athena's 1, but those 3 chapters, I would say, are short enough that this kind of feels like the same length.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I see what you mean. It's roughly the same, if you take, like, the time you play the chapters into account.
But Athena has, like, pretty alright bases. I wouldn't say they're good, especially for the join time. 17 strength, 16 defense is kind of what you expect from an unpromoted Wyvern, and she has the growths to back, well, the strength up, defense not really. High skill, so, like, one of the downsides of using axes kind of stuck accuracy-wise, even in TMGC, and the high skill helps make up for that. But otherwise, she kind of just feels like a pretty ordinary flyer. Like, a lot of other units have cool stuff going on. And even Rachel, who, like, lacks the cool stuff going on, gets a PRF and gets to be your first flyer and have a lot of unique flyer chapters to herself. Not only does Athena not have a lot of unique flyer chapters to herself, but she also, like, only has one chapter where she's one of only 2 flyers. Like, we're gonna get our 3rd flyer very soon after. So you have competition for your Air Force, and, like, hashtag just use both, but there's so many units that you might find yourself wanting to use that, like, I don't know if that advice necessarily applies for this game.
We're going to get a lot of slots coming up, and every single person I know that has ever played this game gets to chapter 14 and says, I have too many units, I need more slots.
Definitely. Which, it's just an awkward join time. And both of these units are going to suffer from that, like Charlie and Athena. Because not only are they going to compete with a lot of other units who joined during the split army portion, but they're competing with the people you trained up in, like, Blair Part 1, and they don't even really get to interact with your army unless you, like, fly over this way. Because they're kind of on their own solo mission over here. Granted, it's a solo mission that does give a good introduction to both of them.
For sure.
Because while Athena's speed is actually very shaky, like 13 speed at this point, with a very bad growth rate, is not where you want to be. It kind of makes her feel like a flying armor, only she doesn't have the overkill defense of our current Armor Knight and our future ones. She has Quick Draw, which is, if you play Fates, like, you're probably familiar that Quick Draw is really good. It's better here, because it not only boosts attack, it boosts AS as well. I guess technically it's, like, sideways, because it's less of an attack boost. It's 3 instead of 4. But I would take 3 attack, 3 AS over 4 attack in most situations. Unless you're, like, a Swordmaster who's already doubling. Like, this is often going to be dealing more damage on average.
3 AS is a pretty big jump.
And on a unit whose speed is pretty shaky, like, she kind of needs it. Unfortunately, that's kind of all she has going on, is, like, slightly better stats on player phase than you would expect. Because Intimidate, it just reduces enemy hit, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I know in vanilla skill sys, it's, like, minus 15 hit to enemies within 2 tiles. It's like uncharisma for enemies.
Yeah, I know, because Anathema is minus dodge, which that one is really, really valuable. However, I don't find Intimidate super valuable. Oh, we went too far. I don't find Intimidate super valuable because this is not... Oh, minus 10 Avoid. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than if it were minus hit, because I was gonna say I don't find dodge tanking super valuable, but it's not for dodge tanking. It is to help shore up accuracy, which, like, you know, that's fine.
It helps other people's accuracy.
It is, like, a little bit unfortunate to be on a flyer just because I find that oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes she's somewhat separated from the rest of your army. Although if you have her doing things with Rachel and Layla, then she can help their accuracy issues. And Layla especially appreciates Intimidate if you have Athena in the Air Force. But even Athena can benefit from it. Like I said, her skill is really good, but she is still using axes. And, like, axe hit is not as bad as it is in vanilla GBA, but, like, 75 hit on the hammer, you know? Well, I guess that's an effective weapon, so it gets extra hit when dealing effective damage. But, you know, the hand axe, 75 hit, like, those sorts of things. Intimidate's helpful.
The hit's higher in this game than usual, but enemies also have bigger numbers than in other GBA games, so it kind of compensates both ways a little bit.
But yeah, I really, really like Athena. It's almost entirely because her promoted portrait is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. It's one of my favorites. She gets, like, Jagan spikes. She looks all badass. I used her for a long time in my first run, and I've used her sporadically in a couple of others as well. But I find that she's never going to, like, really shine, just because well, I mean, obviously, you give her growth boosters, right? She really appreciates the Mercury boots, and I guess being a unit who joins at the same time as the Mercury boots does help alleviate the speed issue, as opposed to someone like Joseph, who's probably been leveling a bunch of times without them, or, you know, Kenneth, or other, like, shaky speed people. Her speed is definitely worse than all the non-armored shaky speed people, but she does at the very least join alongside, or, you know, nearly alongside the tool you get for fixing them. However, that brings up, like, the other weird point of, if you don't early promote her, she does have a 16 speed cap as an Axe Wyvern. So, like, even if you're doing, like, okay, I'll give her a bunch of levels with the Mercury boots, she can only get 3 speed unpromoted. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at... I forgot you could check the caps like this. I was actually just looking at the Wyvern caps, because I was like, that speed cap looks... Or the speed looks almost capped.
It's the same speed cap that Soldier has. I don't know if we mentioned it when talking about Mikey, but that is one of the things that holds him back as well, is the speed cap for Soldier is also 16, but once you promote, it becomes 32. I don't actually remember what her promoted speed cap is.
It looks like it's also 32. Or no, it looks like it's 28.
Ooh, that's like... That's pretty bad for endgame. Even if you... And, like, naturally she won't hit it, but if you give her speed boosting, like, the speed boosting either through Mercury boots or through speed wings, she might hit it, in which case it holds her back. And, like, the rest of her growths really aren't good enough to compensate for that. Like, you know, 65 strength is the standout. Well, and skill, but like I said, the skill kind of compensates for using a bad weapon type. She gets lances on promotion, but higher axe rank means that...
It's nice to use those.
Yeah, it's nice, yeah. I don't know much else to say about her, do you?
I haven't given Athena much of a try. I've used her in this map, of course, because this first part of the map is kind of built to show her off some. I kind of run into the problem that you were mentioning, where you get to use Athena for this map, but then you're forced to use the next flyer for the next 3 maps in a row. So I feel like you kind of get like a better feel and more attached to that other flyer. So then once you come back and your armies merge, it's like, well, I only have so many slots. I don't want a second flyer. Do we use the one I've been investing in for the past 3 maps and gotten to like see how she performs, or do we use the Wyvern that I used for a third of a map?
I will say that, like, I said hashtag just use both isn't necessarily going to be, like, isn't necessarily going to apply when you have so many units fighting for slots, but I did do a run where I eventually dropped, I eventually dropped both Athena and Layla, but I used all 3 flyers until after the Viridian arc, and they were all, like, none of them felt like they were dragging me down, right? Yeah. It was just because they are the only flyers you get for quite some time. And like 3 flyers, you don't need 3 flyers, but it's nice. Well, I guess technically Svelte is also a flyer, but it feels different because he can't rescue and like Kanto and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the whole time we were mentioning, like, oh, you know, that one person's going to point out, technically Svelte Zalus was your second flyer, but he's like 3/4 a flyer.
Yeah, Svelte Zalus is technically the second flyer, and Bechamel is technically the second flyer. Like, there's a lot of units who are technically the second flyer. It's kind of like Burger King. There's a lot of units who are technically your first flyer. In Animus mode, Sam is technically your first flyer, you know? But that's a whole different ballpark. Yeah. I don't
have very much else to say.
I do think she's better than this other unit. And so Charlie has recently been buffed, or at the very least their inventory has been buffed. But I do think they're one of the worst units in the game, which is unfortunate, because from a design standpoint, I really like non-binary sniper. And for our purposes, for 0% growth, these are actually quite decent stats. 15 strength and 19 speed on a bow unit, we'll take that.
Yes, please.
The thing about them is, and this is a similar problem to Athena, is they show up right before you get another, like, you get an army swap, and in that army, in addition to there being a flyer, there's another archer, who I would say is probably the best archer of the cast. But even if you disagree with that, like, you've had Sam for a long time to get attached to them, and then you have the other archer and you get attached to him. Similarly to flyers, you could just hashtag run all three. Just use both, right? Bows are really good in TMGC. I'm never gonna say I have too many bow units. Well, I usually won't say I have too many bow units. But at the same time, wanting to have other units to use other weapons, to not have to constantly trade the bow tools and whatnot, or just to fulfill different roles in your army, it's valid to not run every single sniper alongside each other, and it's valid to feel like your army doesn't need all of the bow units, especially when you consider that, like, it's not just the archers who are bow units. Like, Natasia is technically a bow unit, Cassius is technically a bow unit, Joseph is technically a bow unit. You know, if you want
There's a diminishing utility to just sniper when you could have other bow units who can also use a hammer, who can use a brave lance, who can do stuff besides solo bow combat.
They do have at least, like, as opposed to Athena, who's kind of just boring, Charlie does at least have some cool things going on. So they have unusually high bulk for a unit who shouldn't be getting countered most of the time. And that's because of Sturdy Blow, which makes them, like, you can attack mages and other archers and javelin people and stuff and not care about taking that much damage because it doubles their bulk, which is already, like, okay when they're just getting attacked on enemy phase, but then on player phase, it's even better. Like, 12 defense, 14 res, just for comparison, you know, that's 24 defense. On player phase, they have more defense than Joseph.
Which is pretty awesome.
But that is just on player phase. And the thing about archers is oftentimes archers can have infinity defense on player phase if they select the right targets. Which, like, you know, it gives them more flexibility than their competition, than the other archers. But it's still, like, I don't know. I think it's the sort of skill that, like, it seems potentially better than it actually is.
Yeah.
But they also get bow range +1 once they hit level 12, which is going to be a little bit of a while, because unlike Flynn, they can't cheat by arena grinding. But bow range +1 is cool. I think that there is a potential argument that bow range +1 is an upgrade over Ready Game Fire. I think it's more of a side grade myself, but I wouldn't say someone is strictly wrong for saying that it's an upgrade, since even though it gives less range, it doesn't require you to cut your action economy in half. So that's kind of cool.
I always felt...
Oh, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, I always felt bow range +1 was a bit odd to give Charlie, when it seems like their whole unit gimmick is I can attack into counters and not take damage, but then their skill is I can just avoid most counters now.
Well, their skill does... I was gonna say, yeah, it does kind of feel counter to Sturdy Blow, but it does tie into their personal weapon, which is the short bow, a zero-range bow. And that in conjunction with Sturdy Blow does make sense, because you can't use the zero-range bow unless you have bow range +1, because you can't attack at one range without a one-range bow. And so the zero-range bow, I believe it... what is it? It scales might and crit based on missing HP?
I think that's Damien's.
Yeah, no, that's Damien's.
Let's see. Short bow. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of this is unreadable gibberish. It has the brave box checked, and it says it's 36 might and 150 hit.
That's incredibly strong.
With the catch being that you get it like 5 maps before the game ends.
Yeah, you get it in the final interlude, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4 maps left. So 5 maps was even an exaggeration. There's 4 maps left. And one of them is endgame, which, like, so 2 of them can be pretty easily, like, abuse skipped by a warp and other strong tools you get. And then the other two I would say are confidently usually real maps, unless you're doing like an insane LTC. But it's still just not a lot.
I almost feel like the draw of bows that late in the game is like great bow, longbow, Phalonotus, where you pick something from 4 to 5 tiles away and say, I don't want that to exist anymore.
Yeah.
There's still a use for, like, you can run it to something and punch it at one range. But I feel like the big appeal of a bow in the late game is mostly just great bows, because you can pew stuff from far away.
Well, and the thing about it, too, is as a one-range bow, it sort of inclines you to think, oh, well, I will, like, enemy phase someone with it. But a lot of their bulk, because I haven't shown off their growths yet, they do have really good, like, defense and res growths. These are effectively, every time you level up, you get +2. But a lot of their bulk does come from Sturdy Blow. Like, I made the 24 versus 21 comparison, but it's actually 12 versus 21, right? Like, if we're talking about
times 24.
Yeah. If we're trying to enemy phase with the short bow, Charlie is not super bulky. And like their defense and res will go up, but yeah, their HP doesn't. Again, you can fix that, you know, give them the live goose, right? But these stats are pretty unimpressive. Even before you remember, they're a level 2 pre-promote, so they're going to be growing a lot slower. And their growths are, aside from speed, which is, like, not great, but, like, not bad, and very fixable. Aside from that, their growths are focused primarily in bolstering defenses.
I didn't notice the 25 strength until now. Like, that's crying for an ankle weight, or even for the goggles if you wanted to go full Shining Bow.
Well, and their base magic is actually quite impressive for a non-mage unit. Like, 11 magics. Yeah. That's Sizo. And, which is part of why they start with the Shining Bow.
Yeah, 11 magic is great for a 19 might bow.
Yeah. Like, I've been doing stuff with Jeff, with Magic Bow Jeff, who's currently running, well, actually, only one less.
Comparable.
Okay. Well, that was certainly not the comparison I thought. I guess Carbon would be a better comparison, but I haven't been running Carbon. That's funny, though. That we were just gassing up their magic, and meanwhile, the humble 0% growth Jeff, like...
Been around this whole time.
Can we just...
35%.
Can we just... Like, if this were a growth run, Jeff would out-magic them as well. So...
Yeah.
Again, like, they're very usable, and I know there's a narrative within the TMGC meta discussions of, like, if you say a unit is, you know, bottom 5, they can't necessarily be because, you know, they're still super usable. I do think Charlie's very least in the bottom 10, possibly bottom 5, depending on how you penalize the, there's a group called the Viridians who have weird stuff attached to them, that some people penalize differently from others. We'll get to that later. But, the thing is, they're very usable. I plan to get a lot of use out of them, and you can use them for a long time even without Zero Growth's context. But that's much like modern games like Fates and Engage and Awakening, where everyone is fixable. You have a ton of tools at your disposal. But like everyone being fixable means being good isn't enough to stay out of the bottom tiers.
It becomes a game of opportunity cost at that point, for like how much investment did it take to make this unit as good as the other unit who took significantly less tools to do the job they're doing, or whatever.
Yeah. I like them though.
Charlie does have one thing keeping them out of the bottom 10 in my book, and it's that their portrait is gorgeous, so they can't be one of the worst units in the game.
Okay, but have you considered the fact they don't get a promotion means they only have one portrait, which deprives the world of even more gorgeousness?
Give me a second, I need to at someone real quick and get a commission started. Dear devs, I know Charlie cannot promote, but can we please get a second promoted portrait? Thank you.
So, these are 2 javelin armors.
Uh-oh.
And
but
sort
that
of
means
to show the
countered.
introduction. So I could use the Really?
That feels real bad.
There's no way. That feels so...
Do the armors have identical? They usually do. That I feel like I remember running into this issue
There's
myself.
no way that's intended, is it?
I feel like I remember running into this in the Iron Man, where I was like, oh, like, sure they take 2 damage, but they don't 1 round because the magic bow is like a new update.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels kind of bad.
That do feel kind of bad, though. That do
Just
feel kind of
one
bad,
more base
though.
magic, please. Oh man, that's. I guess it's because you're supposed to great bow the sniper from or the sage from here. Because you can reach the sage from here.
With the great bow, yeah.
So I guess like the idea is you can great bow the sage from over here, but
Do we want to use one of our 15 great bow uses though? Like I
No.
already feel bad using 2 uses of the shining bow and it doesn't even kill. So maybe I just
almost
do
feel like the
this.
silver-
I'll take
I feel like the silver
12
bow is
more?
more replaceable.
Yeah, I'll do this. I'll take 12 more. Well, so he's probably going to attack Athena. But if... So Charlie doesn't die, because I'll take 14 next on enemy phase.
Yeah.
So... Damn, that feels really
Less
bad.
crit.
That's like a really sad introduction for them.
Also, the palette looks amazing. I like the grayish silver bow. I think it looks amazing.
It's cool. It's definitely not my favorite. I really like Sam's palette, like, much more so. But, like I say, you know, taste is subjective.
Very true. Some people just happen to be wrong sometimes. Is it
Swarp
Swarp
is
time?
5, right? 1, 2,
Yup.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, so let's get you over here.
Warping time!
And I think... So, I didn't mention this at the start of the map, but there's also 2 status stabs here.
Oh yeah,
And we
there's a
want
sleep and a
to
silence.
steal both of them. The sleep that we have in our inventory can kind of be used to help sort of sleep chain. Like trade 1 use of sleep for 3 type deal.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like how long you're okay with being here, because that sleep range is pretty massive, so you kind of have to dance around it awkwardly until it's time to plan the heist.
Yeah, I've always kind of just gone really out of my way to not. I've always just kind of gone really out of my way to not
Be in range.
be in range. Yeah, exactly. So we could brave you.
It's... But you are right, where we can like trade 1 use of sleep to steal 3 uses of sleep, so we still come out on top.
I play both sides, so I always come out on top. Signed Mac. Bannerlance, would Bannerlance make this into a kill?
Because that would make it 23 twice, so yeah.
Okay, so the problem then becomes, then the other
Where do you
fighter
banner?
doesn't die, and does the combination of fighter plus ballista kill anyone?
Can you Silver Lance the top fighter, and then Jeff attacks the right fighter?
So you're saying a silver
Or,
lance here, it would have to be brave, I think, to not need a counter.
Oh yeah,
Does that, well, so actually, that leaves him at 17. Are you in range? You aren't. So, will this be, that's 24 minus
Oh,
14.
right, so the
Oh, he
ballista's
lives,
still alive.
actually. Is anyone else up here? I know you get slowed down by the pillar, yeah. So then you... Yeah, so we can actually silver lance here.
And then trade the banner lance.
And then
to
trade the
top.
banner lance to the top. Now you're thinking the portals.
Banner lance
and-
is so good.
So, I'm being very cautious to stay out of those calves' range, because this one has a brave sword,
Feelable.
and this one has a droppable brave axe that will switch to heretic axe if he attacks. Oh, I guess technically
And
the brave
those
sword
are-
is stealable, isn't it?
We did body ring on Jeff, right?
Yes.
Then it should be stealable.
God, look at that. Look at that, Bannerlance Gaming. This
Banner
is how
lance.
Jeff can still win.
Even in my gross playthrough, the Bannerlands got so many kills because +5 damage is so much.
So 24. Okay, you live. So I think we heal you.
We've made it all the way to level 17 on Aaron.
I know, right? It's a little bit wild.
Unpromoted staff EXP goes a little crazy.
So I think what we're going to do next turn is have Charlie kill this armor and then have Athena rescue them over here, so that the rest of our squad can sort of like meet up with each other.
I think in my 2 runs, or the 2 runs I can think of I've done, I actually flew Svelte to the left to help out.
Interesting.
Because just so I could like get rid of the armor, fight the Sage easier without having to spend like great bow uses.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. See,
It
my
does mean,
thought
like,
process
one-
is we can kind of wait on that area.
Yeah.
Because what do you have? You have, yeah, Thunder.
Just
so
Thunder.
it's just a droppable door key. Because I was thinking, like, if it's a droppable weapon, then maybe not wasting durability is, like, peak. But no, it's literally
like,
just the weapon.
It's
Or
just the door
literally
key, so the left squad can like get up through the hallway.
Yeah. And the rest of y'all...
Kind of ball forwards.
Yeah, I am killing Rachel this chapter, but I don't think we need to do it yet. If I need to distract the Ballista for a turn or something. But 24 damage doesn't kill anyone, even if they had 0 defense. None of my units are at 24 or less.
We just live. I do think it's funny that Lazarus starts missing HP because of the cutscene combat round he sees before the map starts.
I was gonna draw attention to that, but I just forgot to. But yeah, the cutscene that we sort of played while you were playing where we were playing the guessing game. Ooh. Oh right, because I'm blocking the hallway. I was like, why is he running up north? Why am I standing here again? So that's to explain one of the other gimmicks of the map. There's a switch right here that gets rid of the throne, which we are going to use. I use it in every playthrough. It was put in anticipation of a potential 0% growth soft lock that isn't actually there. You can still, because of Mikey, well, not just Mikey, like Bannerlands, like there's a lot of stuff. You have a lot of tools.
You can stack. But Axe Buster plus Luna is a little good against Lazarus.
So now...
if you go to the... I forgot that I was going to ask about showing this off, but if you go to the use menu, where you can like use stat boosters and like use promotion items, if you go to that menu and highlight Axe Buster, its use description is the true Lazarus counterplay.
Yeah, I saw that earlier when I was, like, doing preps. Because if we go... Well... How do you... Oh, it's in preps, right?
Yeah, you can only see it in preps with the, if you go to the screen where you, like, use stat boosters and stuff. I think we've already mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again just in case anyone forgot. It's really funny to check those, because every weapon has, like, funny text to go alongside it.
I should have put someone else in Bechamel's spot. Because I can yoink someone from Bechamel's spot, but I don't think Bechamel's doing that much for us.
Can Bechamel shove someone, potentially? Just to, like, use his turn?
I don't know who he would put there. Because, like, Mikey, I guess, could re-put Joseph over there. Yeah, Mikey can trade Joseph the Horse Slayer and repo him there. Because if you yoink from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, so I think what we do... I want to... You double, right? Okay, I think we need to kill all 4 of these enemies, right?
I think so, unless we feel like statusing one of them with Gaylord's first turn.
I was gonna have Gaylord yoink Jeff.
Oh,
And then
that's also
Bechamel could
useful.
shove Desmond. Although I guess Jeff can go here. I forgot how
Yikes.
fucking bulky the Nosferatu guy was.
Yeah, Dark Mages are so bulky. And then Nas makes them even more bulky.
This is actually maybe a problem. Because we don't have... Oh, we have Shimmer Sword.
We do have Shimmer Sword.
Not on him, though.
Can Blair reach to, like, trade chain it up to him somehow?
Blair can get it to Flynn. And then we have 5 range yoink to get Flynn over there. Okay. So I think... Checking that. Checking that. Checking that. Okay. So I think we have you go here. Carbon. Blair, 24. Blair doesn't get one shot by the Ballista.
It's kind of wild.
AS of 7, AS of 3, just making sure. Okay, so, supply, take, Shimmer Sword.
Oh, if it makes you... I think Ballista can't double in general anyways.
Yeah, it's 3 AS. Or do you mean just like a bolting-esque?
Oh yeah, I think it
Trade.
has like a bolting tag, like it has like a can't double tag.
Do we want anything else for him? I don't think so.
Unless you want him to have the press turn sword for an emergency.
There's nothing for him to press off of right now.
Yeah.
Or actually, he could potentially press off of the axe
The Brave
guy.
Axe? Or the Heretic Axe?
Oh, wait. She's in a bad spot. Because now we can't reposition Joseph.
That's true.
We could rescue her with Rachel, I guess.
Yeah.
Have to rescue her out. Yeah, I guess I have to rescue her out.
I don't think Rachel's doing like anything else with her turn though, right?
No, she's not. The only possible thing was like letting her die to the Ballista on purpose.
So like, eh.
I do think we want to heal Emil from here. Oh, I should have shoved Flynn. I think it's fine. I think he gets rescued to the correct spot anyway.
Because he'd get rescued up first.
One, two, three, four, 5.
So it's up, left, right.
I should have shoved, because then I could do it from here.
That's sad.
Oh, I'm so fucking bad at this.
Does Agnes have anything she's doing with her turn?
Oh, Agnes shoved to the left.
Agnes has
right?
swap. So you could
So
like put her
Agnes-
above and then swap.
Can swap. Then Jeff can go here in longbow.
Ooh.
Not as much as I would like.
Could be better.
Bechamel shove.
Cool. Rider's Bane.
Horseslayer, you... how does Horseslayer do here?
Yeah. Oh, double triangle.
We could Brave Lance. I think we Brave Lance because we're gonna Horseslayer the other one with Joseph.
Yeah.
We just have
Makes
to hope
sense.
that the 90% is good enough.
It should be right. Cool.
We can hope. We can hope, right?
I mean, we had a 70 go off earlier, so like it's fine, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Ooh,
So
Brave
we
Axe.
got the Brave Axe. We're not gonna steal the Brave Sword, unfortunately.
That's fine. I think we're too tight on actions right now to...
We yoink you.
And then you can delete this guy.
I guess what I could have done is yoinked Jeff further forward to steal the Brave Sword.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna miss 5 uses of Brave Sword that much.
I
mean,
don't
I'm sure
think
we
so
could've gotten
either.
used to
It would have been
somewhere,
nice, but we have so much money, right?
It would be a nice option, but also having our units alive and not having to reset is also a really nice option.
Yeah. So
we use Gaylord's turn somehow?
yeah, I'm thinking yoink. I literally just need the extra it's the Cantor free staff moment.
Yeah, you just need to do something to get your turn.
I guess
Oh,
less valuable
before
is
you do that,
Physic. We can Physic Desmond up.
Do you want to trade like a sword onto Jeff for the mercenary?
Will he reach from here? 1, 2,
Oh, does that
3,
put him in
4,
a-
5, 6, 7. Is he 7 move?
Yeah, 7 move, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so Mercenary 28. Yeah, I guess we do that.
Just to get a little bit of like chip on the merc.
I think Physic is currently less valuable because we bought so many of them.
Which is very funny to think about.
Well, compared to Yoink, Movement Staff is good.
Do-do.
Then, okay, now...
Rescue you out.
Oh, she might be dying sooner than expected.
Peggy does not eat a hit, right? From the Ballista?
Nope. It's 24 attack, she has 20 bulk.
Dang.
Well, Rachel, we knew this was gonna happen eventually.
Well, you served your purpose.
If I had shoved, then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't trade the Horse Slayer to him!
Oh, oopsie daisies. What all does he have on him?
Shit balls. Well, we can get the Brave Sword at least.
Yes. Well, he's probably going to switch to the Brave Sword on enemy phase.
Yeah, I guess we just box him in.
Yeah, I mean,
Hope for an 11% crit.
yeah. I have a... Desmond should be fine. I mean, I know it's a Brave Sword, but... Oh my gosh.
Well, we can either steal the Shimmer Sword or the Brave Sword. 5 uses of either is fine.
Yeah, 5 uses of Shimmer Sword, it's 5 uses of +5 res weapon.
We can save Rachel if we want. In the most
Because we can
cursed
swap it.
possible way.
Oh wait.
What?
Oh, rescue her. I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna like try to shove Peggy.
No, he can't shove. That's why I checked to
Yeah.
see if he could rescue, and he can. So we're gonna spend 2 actions dropping people who have no business not being dropped.
Ouch.
I got so scared he was gonna get doubled because I was like, yeah, Jeff doesn't get doubled. That's his skill. Oh, we can't
we
steal.
did get quick riposte.
Yeah, we didn't get quick riposte, but also we can't steal it. Lol.
It's sad.
It's whatever.
I think we'll be fine.
We shall live. We can steal the mini gem at least.
This is true. Oh my, I wonder who these guys are.
So that's the villains. Okay, we need to shove and or something. Which like we can.
I do like shoving.
I mean, I guess. Okay.
Flynn also has swap. If you're not doing anything with
swap
him.
might be the play actually. And then we
just
steal for you. Because all the people who I could get, like the kill pretty easily on. We're gonna block the ability to shove.
Yeah. Although I don't usually see swap be used, so it's pretty cool to see it used twice here. Hammer.
Rats. If only he'd give himself the Bannerlands.
I think it has the same might as silver.
It seems to have less, actually.
Oh, it's less. Oh, I think is it steel?
I'll use it just because its main function is not its durability. Like, oftentimes he's just gonna have it equipped as a boost.
Yeah, one-use banner lance does the same thing as like a 30-use banner lance.
As long as I'm just like not so careless with it, right?
Yeah. I usually get scared to use it because I'm like, oh no, but like what if I accidentally let it break on enemy phase or something, knowing full well I will not let that happen.
Yeah. It's like, you shouldn't just willy-nilly use it, but it is one of those, like...
It's still a weapon you can use.
So you're going all the way up and around. You're coming down here. Okay, we've got range on...
Sleepy range.
Sleepy range on.
That is so much.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you want to steal the sleep, I find it makes it really awkward to try to get those middle chests.
And the top one.
Without...
The top one's also in its range.
Yeah. So you kind of have to do some awkward shenanigans to get it. At the same time, I usually end up getting it because sleep is, or status in general, is just really good in the player's hands usually.
So I oftentimes get it without even spending a sleep staff on it. Like, I oftentimes am able to just have Swarp plus long shove chains plus stuff like that.
I'll spend a sleep just so I can like clear out the path to it, so I can like get rid of these guys, and it saves me a headache.
Definitely.
I'm like, and I always find that by the end of the game I have like 15 something uses of every status staff. So for the last third, I'm like, I don't want this guy to move this turn. Go to sleep.
Which is definitely like a really nice aspect of it.
Especially because statuses actually have a hit rate in this game.
I personally still prefer when it's infinite, but I'll take like having a hit rate over fucking Game Boy Advance.
Oh yeah, it's close. In a growth settings, it's usually pretty close to 100% in the player's hands usually. There's only a few times I can think of where it wasn't.
Well, do you think he was going to get doubled? I checked the math.
I had a feeling you checked, but like, I don't know, like survival instincts kicked in.
You gotta make up for it.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna resist. I was thinking of something else. What else was I gonna say? And then I got distracted by Bechamel.
I mean, Bechamel is pretty epic, so I can understand getting distracted.
Oh yeah, status. I am in the same boat of like, I think. Oh, not
It's
that.
the Dowsing Lance, but I was checking if he could kill before getting countered.
Yeah.
Because it's the Dowsing Lance isn't one of the ones that increases res, right? Or it's +5 instead of +15.
It does. It gives you 5.
Yeah. The Heretic Axe is the one where it's like 15 res, no mage touches you.
Yeah, it's because the Shimmer Sword has 40 crit and the Dowsing Lance 1-2 range. So the Heretic's whole shtick is instead of having a cool secondary property, it's just big res boost.
What if big res boost? Have you considered that?
The Society of Callum could use axes.
Society if Wilfred could use any of the weapons. Or Manfred. Wilhelm?
I knew who you meant.
What the fuck? The Pure Water guy. Mr. I love Pure Water. That's my fetish.
Oh wait, I think. So this is gonna sound like nonsense to people who don't know who we're talking about, but I think I remember me and a friend like theory crafted and asked, and I think like res buffs from weapons don't attribute towards his skill.
They're not real.
It's only res boost from like Pure Water and Barrier.
Damn, that's so sad.
Because we were thinking,
Everybody
we were
wants to
trying
get
to
bad bitch down.
Yeah, we were theory crafting like an Animus build for like Super Berserker on him with the Heretic Axe. And then we found out later it's like, sorry, it only... Because I think the skill even specifically states like it has to be a res boost from a Barrier or Pure Water.
Or Earth Power.
This is true. Because I think the Earth Power boost functions the same as a Pure Water, where it's like plus 15 and then it like lowers by 1.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, yeah.